Hey guys, it's Mags, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this zip front ribbed mock neck thing, whatever. This is my way of upcycling an old t-shirt or shirt. You're going to be needing obviously a ribbed mock neck or any other turtleneck you want to add a zip to. Obviously some zips. I recommend using a matching colour, but you can be cool with it. Matching thread, mine was blue because my shirt was blue. Some scissors. These aren't fabric scissors, but I use them as that. I'm not very good, but that's all I have. Needle and thread. This wasn't necessary, but you can hand sew it if you'd like. I just thought I'd include needle and thread. And then you're going to obviously need your sewing machine unless you're going to hand sew it. Or you could use fabric glue, but I'd recommend sewing machine because the stitches will stay in place and you can keep it for longer. So the first step is to grab your zip. I'm using an 18-inch zipper, and I'm going to mark where I want the zip to fall, if that makes sense. So making sure the zipper head or the zipper pole is right at the very top of the mock neck. I'm going to mark where I would like the zip to stop. This way, I know that when I unzip it, it's not too low, it's not too high, it's not too awkward, and this way I know it will fit me properly. And I did this on the right side, and now I'm just going to fold my shirt in half and try and find the midpoint so that my zip isn't lopsided, because that would not be cute. I'm now going to place a pin in the middle, so that when I turn it inside out, I know that it's accurate. Okay, so I'm just now turn the top inside out, and I'm taking out the pin that was on the right side. I'm replacing it on the other side, so it's now on the wrong side. So that way, when I'm placing my markings, they're not on the right side. Then I have to wash it before I can wear it, if that makes sense. And now I'm grabbing a pencil and I'm just going to follow the outline of the zip and mark that into place. I wouldn't recommend using a pencil. I would recommend using Taylor's chalk. But all I had on me was a pencil, and you know, I didn't mind too much because it was on the inside. Okay, now I'm going to use scissors. These are what I'm talking about. They are not fabric scissors, but they are sharp enough that they could cut through the ribbed knit. I mean, you could use any material you want, but I would recommend using like a thicker knit for this tutorial, just because you don't want like all the threads coming loose or the zip being too heavy for the top and it'd be looking bulky and stuff. And it's not going to go into focus, but I did trim the ends of the zip and burn the ends with my lighter, just so that it didn't have that fray effect and there wasn't a lot, because if I was making this from scratch I'd be able to fold it over, but because I'm using an existing one I wasn't able to, and you'll see what I mean later on in the video. And now I'm pinning the zip into place, and as I said before, if I was making this top from scratch I would have included an allowance for a zip, but because this was not like that, I couldn't. And this is what I meant when I was talking about before. I did have to take apart the top so I could put in the zip properly, and this is me showing you my zipper foot, and that's how I'm going to be installing the zip. And if you don't have a zipper foot you can still use it, but it will take a lot of maneuvering. Most standard sewing machines do come with zipper foot, but if yours doesn't, they're like £1 or something on eBay or something, not too sure. And my sewing machine is a Singer Promise 1409, I think, and it's really good. Recommend it. I'll have a link to it down in the description box below. And I'm going to be using my machine's satin stitch. If your machine doesn't have a satin stitch you can still use a straight stitch, but yeah, I'm going to be using a satin stitch just because I really want to get in there and as close to the as close to the zip as possible, and I want it to stay, because as I said, if I did have zip allowance, I would have used that, but I had to cut a little bit where the neckline was using my seam ripper, which I didn't show, but I did do it, and it would make this part a lot easier, so I definitely would recommend doing that.
He move bookie, pass a Ross Clark doobie. I'm like, ay, Ben and Jerry on my wrist, ay, Lely Kelly on my kicks, ooh, young Pele with the techers, ooh, Pele with them dicks, ay, pull up on you with a row, ay, that'll sit brother down, ay, that's that Banger Man sound, ay, make an
as you can see, I did have to take off the what's it called, arm extension, the free arm, I don't know. I did do this bit on a free arm bit just because it was easier to get in there, and after I sewed on the zip, this is me going back in. I don't know if you can see it properly. I finished off the neckline where I had to take it out so I could put in the zip properly, and again I used my satin stitch with a matching thread, and I made the width of the satin stitch as small as possible. Again, this part you could have used needle and thread if you prefer, but I was already on my sewing machine, and that's just the way I wanted to do it. And don't forget to back stitch.
Straight balling on your bitch, boy. If this was back in 2013, I bet that she'd be asking for my kick, boy. I was doing bits in 21.6 and you were sleeping if you didn't know this, boy. But 2017 is my year.
Okay, this bit I did want to include just to show you guys what I mean when I say that the importance of the zip allowance if you were going to start from scratch, but clearly I didn't. And so because I sewed the zip too closely because I didn't have a zipper allowance, there was a lot of snags, and you can sort of thread on my leg and stuff. There was a lot of thread, so when I tried to zip the zip up, it wasn't working. So I had, and if you can see what I mean, like all the fluff and stuff. So I had to go back in my seam ripper and undo a couple stitches, and then I went back with the satin stitch, this time a little bit further out, to kind of, this wasn't to keep in place because zip was already in place, but this was just to make it look neater. And this is the final product. It now zips up fully. If I was going to do it again, I definitely would try and be a little bit more neater, but I'm really proud of the neckline that I did, where I fixed it, because you can't really tell unless you're like looking really closely. But yeah, I think next time I'll probably make it from scratch, and if I am, obviously I'll film it and show you guys how I did it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. See you next week.